Omo, I go to chop this woman them.
They say the devil doesn't come with horns and a pitchfork. He comes in a white collar, with a warm smile, and a Bible in his hand. This is the story of Father Emmanuel Adeyinka, the most beloved man in Lagos Island, and the most dangerous. If you lived on Lagos Island in 2019, you knew the Church of Glory and Grace. You knew its white walls that gleamed in the Lagos sun. You knew its choir that could make the deaf weep. And you knew Father Emmanuel Adeyinka, tall, soft-spoken, with eyes that made you feel like God himself was looking at you. Every Sunday, the car park was full by 7 a.m. Senators, businessmen, market women, widows, all of them pressing their envelopes into the offering basket, all of them trusting the man at the altar with their deepest secrets. But secrets are a dangerous thing to hand to the wrong person. Father Emmanuel counseled her privately every Tuesday, 6 p.m., his office behind the altar. He listened, he prayed, he held her hand, and then he held more than her hand. Blessing told herself it was comfort. She told herself God understood. She told herself it would stop. It didn't stop. And when she finally tried to end it, Father Emmanuel smiled that warm smile of his and said, "Blessing, you don't want Chief to find out about those Tuesday evenings, do you?" That was the moment she realized she hadn't found a shepherd. She had walked into the jaws of a wolf. 3 months later, the diocese sent a new nun to Glory and Grace, Sister Agnes Nwosu, 28 years old, quiet, sharp. She had been a journalist before she took her vows, and some habits are hard to kill. From her first week, Agnes noticed things. The way certain women looked at Father Emmanuel, not with reverence, but with fear. The way the church account books were never left open. The way Father Emmanuel's private office was always locked, even during open hours. She started writing things down. Small things, dates, names, patterns, the way a good journalist would. Father Emmanuel noticed her noticing. And he did what he always did with threats. He turned on the charm. He invited her to dinner, under the guise of welcoming her to the parish. He poured her juice. She noticed he didn't drink his own. He asked about her past. She gave him nothing. He touched her hand across the table. She pulled it back. That night, Agnes wrote one word in her notebook: predator. But Father Emmanuel wasn't done. The next Sunday, he stood at the pulpit and told the congregation, with tears in his eyes, that a troubled young woman had come to the church, someone battling personal demons, someone who needed their prayers. Every eye turned to Agnes. She understood immediately. He was poisoning the well before she could drink from it. If she ever spoke, they would say she was the troubled one. Agnes smiled quietly and opened her Bible. She had been a journalist. She knew how to build a case. It took Agnes 6 weeks to find Blessing Okafor. A chance encounter at the church bookshop. A look that lasted 1 second too long. Agnes slipped her a note with just 4 words. "You are not alone." Blessing called her that night, sobbing. And the story came out, all of it. The Tuesday sessions, the blackmail, the threats. And then Blessing said something that turned Agnes cold. "He has recordings, Agnes, of everything. He records every private session. that office, the walls have ears. Agnes didn't sleep that night, but by morning, she had a plan. Agnes went to the one person Father Emmanuel had never thought to corrupt, the old church cleaner, Babatunde. 60 years of age, seen everything, said nothing. Until Agnes asked. Babatunde told her about the small recording device hidden behind the painting of the Last Supper in the office. He had seen Father Emmanuel check it many times. He had said nothing because who would believe a cleaner over a reverend father? Agnes believed him. She waited for a Tuesday. She sent Blessing in, wired with her own recording device, borrowed from a former colleague at the newspaper. Blessing walked into that office one last time. Father Emmanuel smiled. "I knew you'd come back," he said. She let him talk, and he talked plenty. The recording was 47 minutes long. Blackmail, manipulation, confession of 3 other women. His own voice, clear as a church bell. Agnes took it to 2 places simultaneously. The diocese headquarters in Abuja and a journalist friend at Channels Television. The diocese moved first. Father Emmanuel was suspended pending investigation before he even knew what was happening. By the time the Channel story aired on a Friday evening, his photograph was on every Lagos street corner. His phone was off. His gate was locked. But Lagos is not a city that forgets easily. Father Emmanuel Adeyinka was defrocked 6 months later. 3 women testified formally. 4 more came forward after the story broke. He was convicted of extortion and sentenced to 5 years. Blessing Okafor finally told her husband the truth. Chief Okafor held her hand and wept with her. They are still married. Babatunde, the old cleaner, the congregation raised money for his retirement. He didn't ask for it, but he accepted it with grace. And Sister Agnes also. She returned to journalism. She said God had put her in that church for a reason, and the reason was finished. The Church of Glory and Grace got a new pastor, a quiet, humble man from Kaduna who drives an old Camry and takes no private appointments with women. The congregation says things feel different now, lighter. Some wolves wear white collars. But the truth always finds a way out. If this story moved you, you already know someone like Father Emmanuel. Share this, because silence is how they survive.